Trade Genius.
What's up, guys? Philip at Trade Genius. Once again, back in front of the camera. Got the studio set back up. So appreciate you guys watching all the audio only videos. Now going forward, we'll be back in front of the camera. So this should be the normal way you see our crypto videos from now on here at Trade Genius. So glad to be back in front of the camera. That being said, I think there was a very important news item on Friday. Not sure if you all caught it, but basically what it is that the Intercontinental Exchange, or ICE, they own the New York Stock Exchange, announced that they're going to team up with the likes of Microsoft and Starbucks and create a cryptocurrency ecosystem, essentially. So it'll be a place for commerce. It'll be a place for where you can get regulated storage for your crypto assets, so Bitcoin. And that's a key deal because that was what was a big deal with the ETF that's currently being reviewed by the SEC. That's the ETF proposed by the Chicago Board of Trade, or the CBOE. And this is now basically making that kind of a redundant thing because essentially they're doing what the ETF was going to accomplish, where you as a hedge fund or a family fund, an accredited investor, institutional investor, you needed a way to safely store your Bitcoin. This is now going to accomplish that. This is a really big deal. You're bringing in the likes of Microsoft and the likes of, say, Starbucks. Basically, what you're saying is you're revving up the engines for taking this mainstream, making it part of the commerce. And so, really big deal. What I wanted to show you guys was kind of the initial announcement on Friday from the websites that kind of broke the news. So if you want, we'll dive into that and check that out. Real quick, guys, before we do head into that, I just want to remind you that we have our back to school specials. So this is going to be focused on training. This will take care of everything: our ETF programs, our cryptocurrency trading courses, our binary option trading courses, all of which make money every day. There's lots of opportunity every day. You just basically get to learn this system, and you can basically trade on your own, and you can also get into the room with us. But we wanted to focus on the training side of things because you know how they say, teach a man to fish, right? And so I think by the time you go through all these courses, so many hours of in-depth information, well worth the money, well worth the money. So check that out, tradelikeagenius.com. These specials are going to end in less than 24 hours, so check that out. Okay. So basically what happened was on Friday, we got the news break that the owner of the New York Stock Exchange is teaming up with Microsoft and Starbucks to build an ecosystem for crypto. Pretty big deal. Basically, they want to serve as a global ecosystem for crypto. And what was really interesting was the fact that they want to physically deliver Bitcoin, right? So that's where this is all really key and really important, is physically delivered Bitcoin. So the Bakkt platform, okay, so I'm not sure what BAKKT stands for specifically, didn't really come out and say it, but basically they're going to facilitate a physically delivered Bitcoin futures contract. So that's coming in November, okay? So that's a huge deal. So I think this needs to sink in. I think it was kind of out of the blue. I think as it does sink in, more and more people are going to realize how impactful this is going to be. Kind of makes, like I said, that ETF kind of redundant. Now it doesn't matter if the SEC approves it or not. I think they're going to be under pressure to approve it. I think it's all but a done deal. I think the SEC going forward is going to want to look like they're being progressive. And the ETF was geared for institutional accredited investors because of the size of the share being large. So most retail folks aren't going to be getting into that particular ETF, but other ones, as we progress, will open up and you'll have physically backed ETFs even available to the retail crowd. But this is going to be big for getting the institutional money. We've talked about that since last year. And I think large part of that run up was when the futures were being announced and the anticipation of that money coming into the market. Now, yeah, we've pulled back, and this is typical though for a blow off top that we've seen, like to 20,000. In the past, typically you would get like an 80% pullback. I think we're over 70% right now, or at least we touched that level. And so basically, now we're going forward for the next upcycle. I think there's plenty of bullishness here on this news. that would facilitate such a move higher, taking out the previous all-time highs. So big news here, guys. You know, I think this is going to really bring crypto and help bring crypto into the mainstream. We've had a lot of exposure in the last couple years. I think 2017 was kind of a big awakening, but you have to keep in mind most of the world, most of the globe is not really crypto aware. Maybe we're at 3% possibly, and you can already see what price did. So when this does really get mainstream and we really do have our .com moment, I truly believe that you'll see Bitcoin probably in the six figures just because of the scarcity of the product. So anyway, I thought I would share that with you guys. Pretty cool news. Digital ecosystem, physically delivered Bitcoin futures, and custodianship, regulated custodianship for the institutional investors. So I think this is going to soak in. The news will soak in, and I think it's probably you're going to see some bullishness long term as we head into the fourth quarter. We may have some gyrations up and down, maybe over the next short term, which we'll get into the next video, the outlook for the week on Bitcoin. But I think longer term, heading into the end of the year, I think this is very bullish and will probably fuel higher Bitcoin prices as we do head into fourth quarter. All right, guys. Well, that's it for now. Just thought I would share that with you and make sure you guys didn't miss that piece of news, but pretty significant in the crypto space. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Please hit like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Take care. Bye.
Trade Genius.